the 0.47 value will be there. If this 0.47 value cannot be found, then pick the nearest value of all of them. Now, once you find the value 0.47, just move topward, upward, and see what is the value in the column header. And then move leftward and see what is the value in the row header. Okay, and then add both of them. So if this value is 0.3 and this value is 0.07, you add 0.3 plus 0.07, this will be 0.37, which will be equals to your critical Z. Correct? And if your Z, the current Z score that you have calculated with the help of this formula, is more than your critical Z, then there is a trend, otherwise no trend. Now, if your Z is minus, remember, negative Z, then if your it must outclass the critical Z in the negative manner. That means your critical Z or your Z is need to be more negative compared to your critical Z. If your critical Z is positive, your Z is negative, then very easily you can say there is a trend. If both are negative, then what will happen? Your Z must be more negative than your negative critical Z. If that is the case, then there is a trend. If that is not the case, then there is no trend. So if you have a positive Z and positive critical Z and a positive Z score that you have calculated for your data, then your positive Z must be greater than critical Z. Then there is a trend. If not, no trend. Correct? Again, if you have a negative Z and you have a negative critical Z as well, then your negative Z must be more negative compared to the critical Z. Suppose the critical Z is minus 0.47, correct? And your Z, that means the Z you have scored with this formula, is minus 0.81. Okay, then your data has a trend. Otherwise, your data has no trend. So it is clear how to find trend with Z value. Remember, Z value comes into play if and only if your number of data in your data set is more than 30. If not, just calculate the tau, and in tau also there will be a table. If your tau is more than the critical tau, then it is your data set has a trend. If not, your data set has no trend. So it is as important as that. I have already discussed about this. So now I will show you first I will show you the table of critical Z and critical tau, and then I will show you an Excel sheet by which you can calculate whether there is a trend or not in your data set straight away with the help of Excel. Okay, so let us go to the second part now. So this is the critical value table for Kendall's tau. You see, the significance value alpha is given here and sample size is given here. In our case, we have a 12, n is equals to 12 because there are 12 data points in our data set. So sample size is 12, but here you see there is no 12. So you have to just interpolate. And I want the critical value of Kendall's tau for a significance level of 5%, that is alpha is equals to 0.05. So for that, you see For sample size 10, we have the value as 0.46. And for sample size 15, we have a value of